Hello, Internet. Well, if I haven't made it abundantly clear, um, I am anti-feminist because it is a superiority movement. I absolutely loathe it. It destroys young men for absolutely no good reason, and and it also destroys young women also for no good reason. It destroys young men by these harridan, haggard harpies telling them that they're trash, that they're garbage, that they're guilty of these slights, either real or completely imagined, and my vote is completely imagined, because the real slights are probably done to them by somebody else, but the onus falls upon the young person, and of course, that's what bullies do best. That's what cowards do best. They're only capable of picking on those weaker than them. Of course, they're completely devoid of any intellect whatsoever. A white paper bag can outthink these absolute morons. And I'm sick and tired of their bullshit. Their utter nonsense and bullshit. Of them destroying or trying to destroy the things I love. Just taking away any amount of any fun whatsoever because potato reasons. And you know what? I don't care if I'm accused of wrong think. At least I can think. Like the sheeple that willingly give away their brains. But I can't really blame them. I mean, tell a lie loud enough and long enough, people start to believe it. These poor souls were brainwashed by these women who probably would never get a dick unless it was forced by on their beta cups that are chained to them because they don't have anywhere else to go, the poor bastards. And these false fans, these people who are crying for diversity and censorship, they're not gamers. They've never played a video game in their whole entire life. And I will never ever listen to anything that anyone says like that. People like Anita Sarkeesian, I will never listen to. She has nothing to say. She has nothing worth listening to. But I have to fight against her to keep my video games from falling into this state, as the same state as Marvel. It's doing horribly. It's an utter horrid mess because of this forced diversity that is completely unnecessary, completely unneeded, and nobody wants. If you take a look at their numbers, it's their best seller only breaks 50,000. Marvel used to rule the world with hundreds of thousands of copies. The debates was who was best, Marvel or DC, and there would be heated debates on who was the best comic. There's not even a chance. Now there's not even a debate anymore. If you say who's the better comics, DC, It's going to be DC across the board. Why? Because Marvel has bent its knee to the false fans, to people who are not fans of comic books, to people who want this forced diversity that's not really diverse. They want Mary Sue's and pointless plot lines and horrible artwork. I'm not even joking. Some of the people working at Marvel wouldn't know talent if it came up, bit their head off, and then shit down their neck. I just, and I do not want the same to happen in a video game by these false fans, by these charlatans, by people who do not like games, who don't even love games, who have never stood out in the freezing weather just to buy a single copy of a game. Now, that's not to say that, those who play, those free-to-play games aren't gamers. No, that's not it. Like I said in previous videos, it's a different level of gamer. There you have the part-timers, I guess you could say. They only put in a few hours. That's okay. If you enjoy the games, you are a gamer. But I guess they don't consider themselves a gamer, because when you hear the word gamer, what pops into your mind? Someone like me? Kind of chubby, has a little waddle, bags under his eyes from playing games so many times. No, I'm not getting carpal tunnel. My fingers spin like that. But yeah, that's kind of the image. A person that's willing to put in hours upon hours upon hours into a video game. And if anyone wants to know what I mean by the feminazis destroying young women, well, because they constantly tell them not to go into certain areas of study because they won't be taken seriously, because they'll be constantly questioned, because blah 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 blah. To them, I would ask this: since when has that never happened to a man? I bet you any amount of money, if I could walk up to Dr. Stephen Hawking and ask him, when you were first going into science, were you laughed at? Were your methods questioned? Were you given a hard time? You know what? And he would probably say, yes, I was. Like, seriously, what planet? In what time frame has man ever had it easy? I mean, seriously. Name one school of thought that's easy, where men just pass because they're men. I won't even wait, because I know the answer. It's none. Men don't just pass because they're men. Women pass because they're women, as is the case with Miss White. No, and I still refuse to ever give her any amount of respect, because she threw a tantrum, a big old hissy fit, because she's the overindulged, spoiled little child that she is, and got a doctorate Yeah, it's made of craft paper, macaroni, and glitter glue. She can shove her doctorate so far up her ass it warms up behind her eyes. You know what I'm talking about. I can't remember her name. Maybe she's so unimportant and unimpressive that I don't even want to bother to remember. That could be the case. I think the only way that we can save humanity as a whole, just save the comics, the video games, pretty much everything, is get rid of feminism. We have to get rid of it. It has to go. It is a completely worthless thing. It is a superiority movement and nothing else. If anyone tells you differently, they're trying to sell you something. Because what does it teach? What worth is there in it? That women don't bear any responsibility for their actions? I thought they were equal to men. I thought it was about equality. Well, men have responsibility for their actions. If women do not bear the same amount of responsibility for their actions, that is not equality. So even by its own logic, it's not for equality. So, yeah. My name is David Jared Moe. That's my full name. I was born June 17th, 1981. I currently reside at 14903 North Fairview Drive in Meade, Washington. I am an anti-feminist, and quite frankly, I don't care if you dox me. Do your worst, feminazis. Because you can be damn sure I will do mine to make sure that your brand of evil ceases to exist.